Hey, what's up guys? Jake with Legacy 4x4 here again, and today we are back working on my do-it-yourself teardrop trailer. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, now today we're going to be making the fenders. So I wanted to make doors, but I need to let the rear epoxy that I did yesterday dry, and so I don't want to make the rear hatch yet because I don't want to be doing all the layout and stuff like that if I've got that fresh epoxy on there. So I'm moving on to one of the other projects. Now the trailer needs fenders. To be legal in most states in the United States, you have to have trailer fenders that cover at least the bulk of the tire, and my tires poke out all the way outside of the trailer. Now I could have made the trailer bigger and covered the tires, but I wanted it to be nice and low to the ground, so I'm going to do the exterior fenders the way I've got this. Now I'm going to make these out of scrap metal, and I didn't go buy off-the-shelf fenders because fenders are not that complicated to make, and I didn't want to spend the money that off-the-shelf fenders cost, and also I didn't really design this to fit around a commercially available fender option. So it's kind of a custom length fender. Now, I have a pretty decent amount of scrap sheet metal, but not necessarily the scrap sheet metal that's in the right lengths or the size that I need. So we're gonna have to graft together two pieces of sheet metal in order to make this work. Now that's not an ideal solution. It's not gonna be the prettiest. It'll be, attractive, but it's not gonna be as good as a flat, full piece of steel. But I don't wanna go buy more steel just to make two little fenders. So we're making some 6-inch fenders, and they're gonna go on the side of the trailer, and they're gonna cover the bulk of the tire. They're not gonna cover the entire width of the tire because I don't have two pieces of steel that are the right size. So I've only got enough steel to do these two 6-inch fenders, so that's what we're gonna do. Now, I've already kind of mocked up one of them behind me here, but I'll walk you guys through the process as I make the other one. So, to make these fenders, I've got, this is like 18 or 16 gauge, probably 16 gauge. Actually, this is 16 gauge because this is left over from that powder coat oven I built. This is some 16 gauge sheet metal. I happen to have one piece of it that's like 2.5, 30 inches or so long. It's not quite long enough, but I have plenty more of it that is shorter. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut this size to 6 inches and then kind of lay it over the last little ½ inch here and graft these two pieces of sheet metal together, and that's gonna be the bulk of our fender. Now, I'm going to cut this with my plasma cutter, and then I'm just going to tack weld it together and then do a final bead across it, and then when I'm done with them, I'll come back through and I'll flap these to smooth them out so you don't see quite so stark of a transition. But let me go ahead and cut this down real quick, and then I'll show you guys what this looks like. As you can see, I just lined them up pretty close to each other, and I'm going to go through and tack weld the top of this seam. I'm going to just use a couple of really light tacks as I go along, kind of spot welding it, and then I'll flip it around and do the back side. Now, the idea here is this will elongate that steel. It's not perfect, but this is the only steel that I have to work with, and I certainly don't want to go buy more just for this little short project. So let me go ahead and zap this together, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when we line it up on the car. Now, the reason I tack welded with that instead of solid welding it was because maybe I have a heavy hand, but I have a bad habit of blowing through thin sheet metal like this, and I don't want to blow through this trailer's fenders. So on the back side though, now that that's finished, I can do a thicker, faster bead. So that's what that looks like. You can kind of see in the camera there. Sorry, the lighting's a little bad, but that's all finished up. So now we have the right length of a piece for what we need to make. So I bent one end already just in the vise, but this isn't a good bend. It's gonna have to come back a little bit, but I'll final bend everything on the trailer so they get a perfect fit for this. But this is what our piece of steel looks like. I'm gonna let this cool off for a minute, and I'll show you guys what the other one looks like on the trailer. So this is the side of the trailer that I already did. I haven't bolted in or anything, as you can tell by the clamps. But this is the basic idea we're going for. A super simple kind of concave. And what I found works best was to clamp one side of it, get that angle correct for where it's going to mount, and then forcibly just use my hands. I don't have an English roll or anything, or English wheel. So use my hands to kind of concave it over to where the other side is, and then bend that other side down into place. You again using a clamp. So I'm pretty happy with this shape of design. I will say the tire and the fender clearance is not very good. So I currently have the axle on top of the springs, but I might have to switch the axle onto the bottom of it to give it enough clearance there. Normally I would have done a higher clearance and put the fender up higher, but as you can see, the door is going to get in the way of it. So I made the door a little oversized, which is why this is a problem. So I'm probably gonna have to switch the axle down underneath the springs, but that's okay. I like the look of this, and I wanted the bigger door, so it's all worth it to me. But I got this side done. I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna do the other mock-up and bend on this side as well for the other side of the trailer. All right, so to bend these, I'm doing the very basic, put it in the vise. This is really thin sheet metal, so it's pretty easy to just bend by hand without any like extra tools or brakes or anything like that. And for these kind of bends, it's okay to do it this way. Now, the way it works, take your flat sheet metal, line it up in the vise like so. I've got a line on there for where I know I want this, and then I'm going to bend it into position. So just be cognizant of where the other bend is, so I know I need to go this way with the bend. Bend it just a little bit, like a 45 degree or so, because I'm going to do the final part of the bend on the trailer to make sure I get the right fit for this. So the whole thing is going to kind of deflect a little bit, and I'm going to kind of massage it with my hands to get it to the right fit. I do want this to be a little bit flexible. These are not stand-on fenders because I have steps in the back of the trailer, so these are not meant to be stood on. There's no structure or strength to these whatsoever. These are purely to cover the tires and prevent rocks and stuff from kicking up from the tires and onto the side of the trailer or onto cars behind me. So pretty simple little method there if you need to bend some really thin sheet metal. I'll show you guys how this works though, clamping it on the trailer. I do apologize in advance for the kind of poor lighting. My shop is obviously very crowded. I don't have a big enough garage to have free ample space to work while also having a trailer this size parked in here. It all fits, but it is a little tight, so apologize if some of the lighting is bad, but let's get this thing clamped into place. Now I'm going to start with the front. Try to get this lined up with the edge of the trailer there. I'm using just a regular C-clamp. I like C-clamps for stuff like this and not the adjustable clamps because I like to apply the pressure to get this little metal to bend that last little bit that it's going to need. So like if I use some of my auto clamps, it could potentially not clamp down hard enough. So I like these C-clamps because I can apply as much pressure as necessary to get a good fit. Another one there to pin it into place. And now on this side, I will use an automatic clamp to get the final little bit in there. And this is where the massaging comes in. So I know I cut this to the right length. I just have to massage it to get it to line up appropriately. So again, this is thin sheet metal, so you can mold it by hand. Just kind of eyeballing it, working it where I think it needs work. Grab another clamp. Those little like automatic clamps that automatically seat down are really nice to just hold something in place real quick, but because I'm going to be pulling on this, I want to use another clamp to pin this into place so I don't pop that. I have used so many clamps through the process of this project. I ended up buying I think I bought like 8 or 9 more clamps just for this project. And there we go, just like that, we've got that installed, or well, molded out there a little bit. Now, I'm definitely going to have to plop the axle on the underside, so after this I'll jack the trailer up and I'll take the axle and the wheels off and I'll put it on the underside where it belongs so that we have the clearance. As you can see, there's only enough for my hand to fit in here, which is not nearly enough for the articulation of the axle. But this is relatively simple. I'm probably going to paint this on the trailer, which is less than ideal. I'll have to mask off this top bit here, but I don't want the paint to crack because this isn't strong enough to maintain its shape the way I've got this built. So I'm going to have to bolt this into place, and then I'm going to have to paint this on the trailer to prevent rust on it. There's just really no other way to do it to provide, because if I were to paint it off, you can see this other fender flattened out when I pulled it off of the trailer. And so if I were to paint this off the trailer, when I go back to go rebend this, the chance of the paint cracking is pretty high. So less than ideal, but that's okay. We'll get this one installed on the other side, drill some holes, and bolt this one into place. Alright, so we got the fenders all finished up and painted. I skipped all that part because it's not that exciting, but I'll take you guys off the camera and I'll show you what these look like. So I did end up flipping the axle onto the underside of the spring. I did that to give it the requisite ground clearance to give enough space underneath the fenders. So let me get you guys off the tripod and I'll walk you around real quick. So coming over here, you can see the fender. Sorry, it's got some dust on it. I was just cutting something with the saw, but that's just sawdust. These are dry, and I promise they're all the way black. You can see I also went around and I bordered it with some more of this little rubber that I've got. The same stuff I used on the door trims. I just had a little bit extra of it, so I put it down on the fenders as well. We've got them bolted into the back here, and I did weld them to the front. I ended up welding them because I kept breaking screws for some reason trying to go through that 2x2 down there. But that's what those look like. You can see now with the axle on the underside, we have plenty of clearance for the trailer. That's definitely the way it was supposed to go. I wanted to keep the trailer kind of low, but it just wasn't possible. So that's what that looks like. I'll take you guys around to the other side. Just been throwing stuff in here. This is what the other side looks like, maybe a little bit better lighting. I also ran some silicone caulk around the edge there just to seal that up so that water doesn't come up and splash up the side of the trailer, or vice versa, comes down. But that's what that looks like. You can see all that ground clearance we got there. Overall, I'm happy with them, and it goes to show that these are not that complicated. You can just do this literally just by your own self with just your hands, was all that took. Alright, so this is a pretty simple, straightforward video. I actually thought these were going to be a little more complicated, but I ended up just being able to manhandle that shape by hand. It's not that complex of a bend, so it's really just like a little bit of smoothing out. Clamping them into the edges kind of like forced it to have that bend shape. So I think they look good. Like I said, they're not step-on fenders by any means, but they are definitely going to serve the purpose of being fenders. Again, to do this project, I just used some scrap 16 gauge steel that I had. I used some leftover of that little rubber trim and some of the silicone caulk I've been using on the rest of the trailer. And then a couple of the same screws that I've been using for everything else too. So overall, a very, very simple project. I'm happy with how it looks. I think it shapes up the edge of the trailer really nicely. I like that it's not too overpowering over the edge of the tire. I know technically you're supposed to cover the whole tire, but that's definitely close enough that nobody's gonna like pull me over for not having fenders, because they do exist. Overall, I'm really happy with that. I hope you guys like this content. Sorry that this is kind of a short video. In the next one, I'm gonna go into working on the rear drawers. So you can see I've got it laid out already. I'm gonna start it a little bit here this afternoon. But we're gonna start doing the power drawer first and then do the cooler drawer after that. So stick around for the next one. We're gonna get these drawers out of the way, and then hopefully later this week, we're gonna start building doors. And once the doors go on, this is gonna be a really nice looking trailer, I think. So stick around. I'm just knocking out projects. I cleared out the shop today, which makes me feel a lot better. And I'm gonna start getting these things off of my welding table and installed onto the trailer. I wanna free up the whole welding table so that I have dedicated space for the doors to sit and epoxy to rest and cure. So I want to get all these things off of the table, installed onto the trailer so that I've got table space to work. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave any comments down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.